It's the revenge of a stock fuel pump. Or Mitsubishi, I hate you! Yeah, so if you've seen my other videos, you know I had a cool redundant fuel pump setup on here. Whether I would use the little vacuum pump most of the time, or if I wanted to, I could put the fuse in, use this pump. The stock pump, which, you know, has the chronic points problem. Although this pump's in half a dozen other motorcycles, possibly cars too. Anyway, so I was having a little problem with low fuel pressure. It'd stumble at high speeds. Like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. I'll put the fuse in and run this, and it got me home. Fuel pump sort of went away, but it wasn't right. So, after a lot of diagnosis of trying to figure out what's going on here, what's going on there, determined that this fuel pump, which had been sitting down there, not being used, has got something stuck in the check valve. Somewhere in one of those. Anyway, I can blow air in one side, it comes out the other, that side the other. It just circulates all the way around. So, I turn it on, the fuel goes jump, 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 just jumps up and down, doesn't actually pump anything. Makes nice bubbles, sort of, but, you know, it doesn't really pump anything, just shuffles fuel from one side to the other. So, while this decided to do this new magic trick, this one was working awesome, circulating fuel through the bad fuel pump. So, it was just pumping fuel through one side to the other. So I had a fuel system that was just cycling fuel around and not really getting any carbs. It was still running because it still had to pump fuel up here and a little bit dribbled in the carbs, but wide open throttle wasn't much doable. So I wonder if I could set this on fire. So even though I didn't use it, it came back to bite me. Anyway, so this is gone. That's not a wastebasket. I got tools in there. Oh well. So my new plumbing system, a bit hodgepodge, but it works great. I still have my standard line here. It picks up vacuum pulses from here, which is the PCV system. But through here, sort of PCV. It's actually breather, but anyway. So little T taps off right here, goes in, fuel line goes up here, just like my old system. Huh? Fuel comes through the fuel tank right here. Ignore the stupid splice. Up, zigzags around, under the airbox, like my sweeping turns, goes down here to my fuel filter right here. It's got those nice ones that's field serviceable, I like. Wish it was in glass, but it still works good. So, comes up through here. It's hard to get these hoses right. Goes pump in right here. Little arrow right there. See? It says pump in. Now, this is a dual outlet pump. You can actually order these from Aircraft Spruce online. So, it's got two outs in this pump. This out comes out on this other side, and this little fitting normally points straight up. But you can just stick a little screwdriver in and bend it down. Works just good. Comes down, down through here, up into the bottom of the fuel pump, carburetor, air cleaner box thingy, this big thing right here, comes in the bottom of this piece of carburetors. So, what to do about the second outlet, which is right here? That's where I got brilliant here. It comes down, sneaks all the way down here, comes and ties off to this little capped off fitting right here. So, as everybody knows, these are the Exxon Valdez of dirt bikes. So, at 6 gallons of gas, your friend's always running out, you're not. So, I can unscrew this little fitting right here, cap, take this hose, an extension, screw it right on here, and I keep this usually in my toolbox in the back or something, and then let the bike idle and pump somebody's tank extra gallon of fuel or something, and they can keep going, and I don't have to go back to their truck to get extra gas for them. And these are just little parts I got at Home Depot. Second problem, though, the vacuum fuel pump, which I don't know if it's that big of a problem. Might be. These don't prime very well, especially when they're sitting above the fuel level. So I've been told I've got it to prime. It just takes a whole lot of cranking, and your battery may go dead first, especially if you've got a weak battery. So, the way to fix that, you're stuck out in the middle of nowhere, You take this little hose, you screw it on here, you take this little cap off, you screw those two together, and the good part about being clear is you just suck on that. Yeah, you don't want to suck the actual gas. That's not a good thing. It's probably worse for you than smoking. Don't smoke while sucking this. This is also a good suggestion here. Okay, so if you suck on this, it'll suck gas all the way up through the pump, prime the pump, and when you see gas start coming up the tube, stop sucking. Your air pump's primed, carburetor's got fuel, all is happy and dandy. Cap it back up, you're run, you're good. That's how I got it first primed, although technically I don't think I need to do that because it seems to be able to prime itself just fine when I've played around with it before. But, hey, you know what? It's handy to have this anyway. It doesn't take much room. Throw it in your toolbox. Done. Added benefit I found when I was messing around with this thing trying to figure out why that stupid pump in there. Anyway, you hook this to here. Even if no pumps are working, you hold this up here, you suck, you see fuel up here, it gets fuel up, fuel dribbles down, flows back through here, and flows into the carburetors, and it will run. So, I guess if you're stuck out in Africa, and your fuel pump has failed, and you don't have an extra one, or a rebuild kit, or a screwdriver to take it apart to clean the dirt out of it, or it caught fire, something happened. Hook those hoses together, leave this right here, suck up a little bit, and you're good for a mile or so. You know, just as long as you keep an eye on it, make sure you don't drink the fuel and just suck up the fuel to a level, and then just let it hose back down into the carbs. It will probably get you home. You had no problem seeming to run the bike. So, that's worst case scenario. So, that's my new revised system. No more Mitsubishi parts. And I don't even think I want to see a Mitsubishi car. I hate that phone. So, go vacuum fuel pump. These are easy, cheap, $34, and bulletproof. Unlike that thing in there, which is like $120, if not more. And should die a fiery death.